Oh man, guys, I'm sitting here trying to edit a video, a thumbnail for one of my videos, a pressure washer video. It's already gonna be up by the time you see this, but look what happens. You sit here and spend all this time trying to edit a thumbnail. What does that look like? There goes 30 minutes. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Max. Thank you for tuning into the channel. So today I'm gonna go help my buddy who just built the house in the same neighborhood that I live in right here. We built our house a year and a half ago and he just built his house. So I'm gonna help him move. And I figured, hey, why not take the Lotus to go help him move and talk about the downsides of owning a supercar or an exotic car. Let's go do it, guys. It's been like a week since I've started this thing. It's weird when you first get one of these, like when I first got my Elise, I was in that thing every day. I put, like, I don't even know how many miles, like 12,000 miles on it in the first year, maybe more. But after a while, you get kind of, I don't want to say used to it. It's still fun, it's still enjoyable every single time that I get in this car. But after a while, you just get like, I don't feel like taking it because I don't feel like, you know, spending an extra half hour at the gas station and chit-chatting today, you know, that sort of thing. So today I wanted to talk about the downsides of owning a supercar. I know. The Lotus Exige, it's not a supercar. But what's not super about a car that weighs 2,000 pounds, hits 60 as fast as a Lamborghini Gallardo, and keeps up with some of the best cars in the world on a racetrack? At any rate, my car, it's an exotic car. I don't think there's really any arguing about that. This car has the same drawbacks that pretty much any supercar is gonna have. The first downside of owning a supercar is that even driving it in this beautiful fall weather, you see all these leaves falling on the ground. And you might think, oh, that's not a big deal. But if you're in a supercar, you're thinking, oh crap, did that leaf just put a little micro scratch in my paint? So as a supercar owner, you're always concerned about, oh, do I have a little microscopic paint chip in the front bumper from the car that was just driving in front of me? You're always worried about something happening to it. You go parking in a parking lot, you park in the back of the parking lot, and there's always cars parked next to you by the time you come out. I don't care if you park a mile away from the building and there's no other cars around you for a mile in sight, there's always people that will park next to you. And the reason, they want to get pictures with the car. And that's totally cool. If they want to take pictures, I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, you're always just worried that like, oh, some little kid's gonna put their hands on it and just scratch the paint or something. I've actually seen something like that happen. A buddy of mine has a Lamborghini Huracan, and there was a little kid, he put his foot right on the hood of the car. He just set it right on the emblem. And oh man, that's bad news. So you got people like that don't watch their kids do things like that. So it's just always on the back of your mind. Speaking of worried about like something happening to the paint, that sort of thing, you're also worried, oh crap, is something gonna break on the car and am I gonna have to spend $10,000 to fix it? Because that happens. These cars break more often than, say, your Honda Civic. It's just a fact of life. They're more fine-tuned, they use more precision parts, and kind of a side effect of that is the fact that they probably aren't gonna last as long. So you'll get 10, 15,000 miles out of a clutch in a supercar, whereas your normal car, you probably never even think about replacing the clutch, at least not for the first 100,000, maybe even 200,000 miles. The third downside, you get people that are jealous. It's a fact of life. Humans, we are jealous creatures, and as a side effect of that, you get people that are jealous. I've had people give me the middle finger just for me driving the car. I did nothing wrong, just sitting at a stoplight. Some guys came up to me and they said, hey, and they gave me the middle finger for no reason. Another example of people being jealous is that one time I had my Lotus, not this one, my previous one, I had it parked in a parking lot. I came back to the car after I got done shopping and I noticed somebody had spit chewing tobacco on the side of my car. Again, there's no reason for it other than the fact they're jealous. The fourth downside, if you bring this car to a social event, let's say your friend's having a party or a birthday party, you bring it there, at the party is gonna want a ride in the car. So if you wanna go flex and show off your cool car, your supercar, and you bring it to a party, expect to give about 50 people a ride. It will happen every time. The other option for that is you park like 3 blocks away from your friend's house and then go back to option 1. You're worried about something happening to your car. Or option 2, you're worried about people being jealous. The next downside, they are uncomfortable cars. Sure, you might argue that your Bentley Continental GT is super comfortable, but generally speaking, most supercars are super uncomfortable. I mean, notoriously uncomfortable. I've ridden in a Lamborghini Gallardo, I've ridden in Lotuses, I've ridden in Ferraris, I've driven just dozens of cars. And I don't think I've ever sat in one and been like, oh, this is as comfy as my mom's Ford Taurus. Let's talk about the gas mileage. Generally, supercars don't do very good on gas. My Lotus actually does decent, but the newer Lamborghinis and things like that actually get similar miles per gallon as my little Lotus Exige. Generally speaking, I can expect to get around 160 to 200 miles per tank. That's not a lot, guys. Another downside of owning a supercar is that you realize after you buy it how awesome and how fun they truly are. And you might be saying, that's not a downside. The downside is that you're gonna wanna buy more supercars. I first got my Lotus Elise. After about 6 months, I started wanting a Lotus Exige or an Audi R8. It just happens. You might say, oh, that's greedy, you know, you should be happy with what you have. And I'm not trying to complain in the slightest. I know, I am super blessed, and I am super happy to be able to drive the cars that I drive. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't be so bad to be in a Lamborghini Huracan. Let's talk about repairs. If you want to take your supercar to the maintenance shop to get something fixed, or your wheels rotated, or your oil changed, they're gonna cost way more. You're gonna hear the price, and it's gonna be the price you were thinking times 10. Check this out. When I first got my Lotus Elise, I didn't really have any tools or anything because we were living in an apartment and just about to build our house, so I didn't really have a whole lot of things to work on my car. So I called up a shop and I said, hey, I need you to take the current set of rims that are on the car, remove them, and then just place new set of rims on the car. For a typical car like a Honda Civic, I would expect to pay maybe 30 bucks for that. Guess what I was quoted? $200! That's a lot of money to rotate tires. So you know what I did? I went and bought a jack stands, and I did it myself. And it only ended up costing me $100, and now I had the parts to do it forever. What about roads? You might think, oh, you can drive your supercar anywhere you want. Wrong! Anytime you see a pothole, you have to avoid it. Anytime you see a speed bump, you go like this. Anytime you see an incline that you have to go up like a driveway, you're like, ah! And the worst of all, gravel roads. If you see a gravel road, you're probably gonna cry, especially when your GPS tells you it's like an hour to go around the gravel road. And now you have to spend an hour going around this gravel road and hope that you don't run out of gas. Because if you're around a gravel road, you're probably in the middle of nowhere, and there's probably not a whole lot of gas stations around, so that's just another downside. Let's talk about the psychological effects. So, anytime you hear a little tiny creak in the car, like you might hear just like a little, I don't know, just a little squeak or something, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my car? How am I gonna fix it? So with every little creak, every little noise, you're always worried, what's wrong? And then after you don't hear the creak for 5 minutes, you're like, oh, thank you, oh, you're okay. The next downside is that you have very limited visibility in just about all exotic cars. They are worse than your typical four-door sedan, for example. The visibility in these cars, especially a car like the Siege, is very horrible. The only way that I can see my blind spots is through these little extra mirrors that are glued onto my normal side mirrors. I literally, and I mean this very literally, cannot see out the rear window here. I can see the engine though, so that's pretty cool. Another downside is that if you're going to help people out like I am right now, oh, I'm just going to help my buddy out. Well, hey, what if he needs to put something in my car? What am I gonna do? Hey, you can put like a microscopic picture in the car. The cabin space in this fits 2. So if there's 3 people, like let's say he has his wife and a kid, and their car is totally full. I have to be all like, oh, one of you has to stay back because you can't fit in my car. Let's talk about the storage capacity. You're pretty lucky in this car if you can fit 2 backpacks, maybe a few grocery bags. So when you go to the grocery store, like all of us do, and you take your supercar like all of us do, right? And you only going in for like one thing because you're in your supercar, you can't fit like more than 2 grocery bags in it. Then you're shopping away and you're just throwing stuff in your cart, and then you come out and you're like, oh crap, I had my Lamborghini or my Ferrari or my Lotus or whatever. And then you're all like, oh crap, how am I gonna fit this? Storage space in these cars, it sucks. I'm getting better and better every day at rev matching, guys. Just puts a smile on my face every time I do it right. Downside number 572. You can only fit 2 people in your exotic car. I don't care if you got a Maserati Gran Turismo and you got the 4 seats or whatever. You're not gonna fit 2 adult human beings in the back of those seats. It's not happening, guys. So for just about every single exotic car, you're fitting a maximum of 2 people. That's it. So when you got 3 people in your party, what are you gonna do? You're not taking your exotic car or your supercar, you're gonna take your normal commuting car or whatever else you got. Or you'll have to take 2 supercars. That's kind of a good problem to have though. I'm just about to my friend's house, and guess what? There's a huge puddle in front of me. I literally pulled over in the side of the road here because I have to wait for all these cars to go around me. Now it's clear. And you know why I have to wait? So that I can go like 0.01 miles per hour. And there's a car coming right now. So now, oh, and he just about ran into me. I'm glad I was filming. But yeah, you don't want to hit any puddles. You don't want to get a single drop of rain on the car. You're always like, oh, it's raining. Ah, I'm gonna cry. All right, guys, so I made a video a little bit earlier about the downsides of owning an exotic car, a supercar, those types of things. And we're at Walmart right now. We had to get some groceries, just some random things. And I'm parked all the way in the back of the parking lot. And when we got here, there's this big giant truck next to us, which is no problem. There was 2 kids that got out of it, probably, I don't know, 16 to 18 years old. And they got out and they were just eyeing this car down, and we were walking out of the store, right, just a happenstance at the same time. Insert the video here as we're approaching them. Good idea. Yeah, I took a video of them, I don't know, just scoping out the car and stuff, so I'll plop that in right here. All right, guys, so I was just talking about the downsides, and this isn't a downside. I like it a lot. I'm coming out, but this is what you come out to every time that you go shopping, because we're just buying a bunch of groceries, and hopefully these all fit. So another downside, hopefully these all fit. But yeah, so I'm gonna quit filming so I don't pick these things out. And then, of course, since they were looking at it, there was another guy that came up, and he happened to own a Viper, and so he was chatting me up, we were talking to him, and then, of course, now there's like 3 people, and then there was a group of guys. How many were there? Probably 5 or 6? Yeah, 5 or 6 guys, maybe more even, and they all came up, and they're like, wow, look at that intercooler, I gotta check that out. So, I mean, it's just, you get in these cars, and then it's like, you get stuck at the store or whatever, but it's fun. It's fun. I mean, we enjoy it. It's not like, it's a downside if, in the respect that you're trying to get somewhere fast. Yeah. And like, if I would have had to be a dick and be like, hey, like, get out of my way, I would never ever do that. Yeah, but like, potentially you could face that situation. So it's a downside of having these types of cars, for sure. But I don't know, it's a lot of fun. Like, literally, we just had like 10, 15 people surrounding the car and checking it out, and it happens everywhere you go. So I don't know.
It's a dude magnet.
Yes, and I'm gonna make a video about that. It is a dude magnet. I actually filmed that video one day, yeah. But the camera was mounted on the windshield and it was like doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
So it didn't turn out. But
yeah, it's definitely.
I'm gonna redo that one. So there is just a small subset of the downsides. If I think of more, perhaps I'll do a part 2 to this video. But I just wanted to make a little video telling you guys about the downsides of owning a supercar or an exotic car. But at the end of the day, they are a blast. I highly recommend, if it's in your options to afford a car like this, or a Lamborghini or Ferrari or whatever you choose, you're gonna be happy with it because you've probably done your research on it, that sort of thing. But they are a total blast to own. I love it. I don't have any regrets. The upsides far outweigh the downsides. I mean, I really don't even think about the downsides because I'm used to them. But they're just typical downsides of owning a car like this. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Smash the subscribe button. Check out my other videos. I release a video every other day, sometimes every single day. I do it as much as I can. I really enjoy making videos, so thanks for watching. Take care guys, stay blessed, and have a great one.